officially hitting the Route 66, the Missouri portion, in its full entirety, as much as we can of the original path as possible. Right here behind us, we have the Chain of Rocks Bridge. It is currently getting closed, so we're not going across it, but we're starting our journey here. We're going to head through Granite City. We're going to use the original McKinley Bridge to cross over into Missouri. We'll have a few stops in St. Louis, and then we'll continue on the Route 66 down south, headed towards Kansas. Day one, which is today, is probably going to get us to about Cuba, Rolla, Missouri, and then day two, next video, we'll continue on from there. So join me for the ride. We made it to the St. Louis Arch. Iconic gateway to the west. We will continue on our way. I believe our next stop is going to be Ted Drew's frozen custard. I don't think they're open, and if they are, it's a little too early for that anyway, so. Like I mentioned, they're not open. It is way too early in the morning, but we just wanted to go ahead and stop and see the iconic location, and we'll continue on our way. I'll check in at our next destination. See you in a little bit. We're looking at what was Times Beach, Missouri. Alright, we are at the Route 66 Welcome Center for what would be Times Beach as well. We got the visitor center behind us that we're going to go check out here in a little bit. And then there's also a little photo op sign over there. And we're going to go check out the bridge right now. This is the original Route 66 bridge that crossed the Merrimack River right there before I-44 was built right over there and bypassed this entirely. We're going to go inside and check out the visitor center.
Campbell 66 Service Museum. Larry West bought this old Baptist church and he could work. And he decided he's going to sleep in today and his gate's closed. And bought this church. His name is Larry. We love him. Which was only made possible by that bridge being built because it was built. But if you like to do 6 miles back to 40, I would go left. That 6 miles is more you, but you got to backtrack.
All right, that's a wrap for the Route 66 State Park. We are going to get back in the Jeep and hit the road. We saw a few of our next stops. We also saw a few of the places that we had already been to inside the museum, so that was pretty cool to see some old photos of them. But we're going to hit the road, probably stop and grab a bite to eat before too long. We have made it to Campbell's service station. It's a little museum. We're gonna go in and check it out.
Cedar Inn is just down about a mile. I don't know if you.
Okay.
And that's the City of Pacific's Tourist Information Center, and they have some displays and things there.
Perfect. I'll go check that out. Thank you. What an awesome stop here at Campbell's service station. Got some information for Red Cedar Inn. Let's hop back in the Jeep and we'll see you down the road. All right, we made it to Red Cedar Inn. Unfortunately, they don't open for another 15 minutes and we have to continue on our path, but we'll get some cool videos, photos, and check out their signage here, and then we'll continue on our way. Route 66 here in Pacific, Missouri at the Red Cedar Inn, but they aren't open yet, so I guess that means we're gonna get back in the Jeep and get on our way. All right, we've made it to our next stop here, which is called Jensen Point. Let's go ahead and check this out. It's a little warm out. This better be worth it. Oh, nice little picnic area. Looks like we're not all the way to the top yet though. Finish up these stairs. And there's some type of building up top. Wow. That's pretty spectacular. And then you got Route 66 running right there. Wow, I can see a McDonald's. I can see the Golden Arches. I bet this view was prettier before those were there. This was worth the walk up. Just knowing that this was built forever ago. This, on this bluff, this rock bluff here. So cool. We've got about a 6-mile drive before our next stop. Should only take about 10 minutes to get there. We've made it to Sunset Motel. It's an old classic motel for Route 66. We're going to see quite a few of this style of motels along the way. Behind me is the Shamrock Court. It is currently being restored for the Route 66 100-year anniversary. It's beautiful. They've done a really great job. We've made it to the Wagon Wheel Motel. That is right back here with this really cool old gas station up front. Parked up front, grabbed a few photos, and we're gonna get out of here so we don't block up the front area. But we gotta come get a photo of the iconic Wagon Wheel Motel sign real fast. We have just arrived at Fanning Outpost General Store, which also has I could be wrong, but this might not be the largest rocking chair in the world anymore, but at one point it was, and it is well covered in stickers. I don't think it's the largest rocking chair in the world anymore, but it was at one point. We're gonna go inside and check out the general store.
How's it going?
Doing good, how are you? Wrapped up at the Fanning Outpost. We got a cool little sticker with the chair. And then I saw a glass bottle of Dr. Pepper with cane sugar, and I said if I saw these, the chocolate wafers, we're buying them, and of course they had them, so we had to grab them. Road snacks. Let's get back on the road. We have arrived at Uranus Fudge Factory. Looks like there's a playground there to let the kiddos get some of that pent-up energy out when traveling. That's pretty cool. This place is popping. Alright, that's about as much of Uranus as I can take. We're going to continue getting our kicks on Route 66. Alright, we have arrived at our final destination for day one, and that is the Route 66 neon sign park here in St. Robert. This is a bunch of old historical neon signs that they have restored or kept safe, and they've built a park here for us to view and enjoy. So let's go check it out. Pretty cool to see all these old signs collected from all over in Missouri from Route 66 to be displayed here for the public to see. It looks like some of them are potentially new recreations of the signs, but there are some that you can definitely tell are the old restored versions. So this is our final destination for day one of Route 66 road trip, Missouri portion. Maybe one day we'll complete the rest. For film, we've already done it. but we just haven't gotten it on film, so. All right, I think that is gonna put us at a wrap for the Route 66 Neon Sign Park. And we are now on the hunt for campsite. So we're gonna do a quick supply pickup from a grocery store, and then we are going to go find our campsite, which it'll be near the Devil's Elbow, which I did not record earlier when I drove through because I knew we were going to be returning. So you'll get to see that here in a minute. And it's a really nice area, so I'm really excited to show you guys that. So I'll check in after the supply pickup and when we're out in the middle of the forest. So see you in the woods. Okay, we have this beautiful little ridge here that we're about to drive. It's going to take us back down to the bridge that we just crossed, and then there's a little trail that we're going to follow. Should take us to a potential campsite, or at least a few of them. Fingers crossed we can find something, and they're not all taken already. The one I'm aiming for is going to put us right on the river, so there's a good chance it might already be taken with how beautiful the weather is, but we'll keep our fingers crossed. We have officially hit gravel. We're driving right along the Big Piney. We are currently on a trail that's going to lead us to the Big Piney, like I mentioned earlier. And I do believe there is nobody down here, and we'll have the site to ourselves at least until somebody else shows up. So we'll keep our fingers crossed that nobody else shows up. And it should be a little bit cooler down here by the creek rather than, well, actually hasn't been too bad today, aside from when we stop in the cities and all that asphalt. Pretty sure I just took out a tree that was on the side of the road. Let's go see what we got here. Oops, yep. We scratched it up just a little bit. It was a pretty big tree, to be honest, but that's what that big old bumper's for. It's pretty stinking muddy. All right, we are situated. There's a boat coming down. We're gonna cook dinner here and see if we can stay the night here. If not, we'll be moving later. Got a pretty nice dinner planned. By that I mean grocery shopping was fruitful. Yep. Didn't do the thing that I said I was gonna do. So that's unfortunate. Work. I might have to do that. Utensils out here. We got some premium choice Angus over here, of course. Gonna turn that heat back up a little bit. And we got 2 of these bad boys. Our flame went out. That's why it stopped cooking. I thought something funky was happening. Mosquito's gonna come back to get me, I know it. Alright, let's see if we can squeeze in some more food on this here. We just gotta get some greens, get some veggies in here. Alright, so far so good. Guess what? More broccoli going on. We've been driving all day, smelling that food, making me so happy right now. Plus we have beautiful access and views to the Big Piney. It's nice out here. The sun is trying to peek through the trees, but it's got to try a little bit harder, and just in case it does, you already know. That was too slow. Alright. Things are popping off over here. I need to quit getting content and finish making my food. Now, I'm sure I'll get comments that I'm overcooking it. But that's how I like my steaks. I think our steaks are about good for me. Fire. That's dinner. It's good, but it's not as good as when my wife makes it. We've just been hanging out here at the campsite. Finished dinner. Sun is setting back there. You can't really see it too well. I'm pretty exhausted after driving 150 plus hours today. 150 plus hours. See, that just goes to show you how tired I am. 150 plus miles driven today from St. Louis all the way down to St. Robert. And then we did backtrack a little bit back up to the Devil's Elbow to find our camping spot out here in the forest. So I'm pretty tired. And with that, I think I'm going to call it a wrap for the night. I'm going to climb into the Jeep, try to relax a little bit, and then probably fall fast asleep. And with that, that concludes day one of our Missouri road trip of Route 66. We got our kicks started. We're going to wrap up the kicks tomorrow with the second half. We have another 180 or so miles to go tomorrow. We'll be on the back half. We'll hit Springfield, and then we'll end up in Galena, Kansas, where we'll stay overnight before we head home. So, with no further to do, I'm going to get out of here. Probably throw in some drone shots from earlier if you haven't already seen them, and maybe try to get a few nice little sunset photos or videos while we're out here before the sun fully sets. But I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go pass out in the Jeep, and I will catch you in the next video in the morning for day 2. See ya, and thanks for hanging out with me. Photo op. Photo op. And then of course we gotta get one. I barely fucking fit in this thing. Woo! Yeah! Alright, cool.